What's up? What's up? What's up? It is Hump Day. That means it's time for a new episode of The Conversation. We are back over after a brief hiatus. I'm glad to be back. Hold on, I just got to do some technical stuff.
As soon as we go live, it'd be like, now we got to do the technical stuff.
Yeah.
that link on your page yet, Ashleigh?
Hold on, it's saying. Hold on. Did somebody already share it?
I'm still looking for it.
It's saying someone shared it. So obviously,
okay.
I don't know. Whatever. You can't find it if you go on my wall.
Yeah, I see nothing.
Because it's not letting me edit the privacy at all.
Well, I guess we can always just share it to YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, sorry guys, we're back. We're live. If you're watching this live, please like and share. If you're watching it during the playback, please like and share. So tonight we have, you guys know we have an extended cast. And tonight we have some of our cast on here. Some of them aren't here. Tonight we have Marcus, of course, one of our main cast members, and Shaq. And Michael, and tonight Brandi is finally back after a brief hiatus.
Hi guys.
Kate stepping in for Rudy tonight because he couldn't make it on. Hi. So we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot of stuff to get covered. So briefly, let's just clear the field. How's everyone's weekend? Shaq, how's your weekend going?
Oh man, I am just happy to be home. It's been a lot going on lately.
Weekend.
Yeah, well, you know, I
weekend, whatever.
I was on vacation all last week. There was unfortunately a death in the family as well. But in addition, I took the family to Hilton Head, and we were there for a week. I took my kids out of school. They just started school. I took them out. They was in the pool. So I mean, we've been traveling. Then we were in Savannah, and oh man, it's been a week. So and now this week is catching up off of everything that we let fall, which doubled everything this week. So it's been a lot, but happy to be here. Well rested, and happy to be back on the show.
We're happy to have you, Marcus. What's up with you in your world?
Softball season is about to get started, so we're getting really deep and hard into our softball practices. So, just gearing up for the new season and, focusing on that this week.
Awesome. Michael, what about you?
Oh, same stuff, different day. Although I will mention this weekend was the Dream Cruise down here in Metro Detroit. So it was an absolute banger of a time.
That's cool.
What's up? Do you have fun?
Always, honey. Always.
That's awesome. Brandi, what's up in your world?
Just kind of got back home and trying to get back into the groove of things. I did a little bit of traveling, and there's been a few tragedies in my family in this last month. But now that I'm back home, I'm just trying to gather my thoughts and get things back in order.
Awesome. Well, we are happy to have you back as well.
I'm glad to be back.
Kate, what's going on? Because the cleavage is cleavaging tonight.
Yes, honey, I brought my titties with me. You already know they had to make a statement. You know what? I'm just trying to survive out here. I'm just trying to keep it cute because it is truly hot as hell. It is so wild. So I'm just trying to just survive out here. That's all we can do anymore. It's just be resilient.
It's a crazy world. Okay, so we're gonna jump right into things because, like I said, we have a lot to cover tonight, and I don't want to be on here 3 hours. Brandi says she's getting off. She's hanging up after an hour. So here we go.
I know my babysitter.
Okay, so we all know that Donald Trump has over 91, I think, felonies at this point up against him, and he's also running for the re-election in 2024. But the most important indictment is coming out of Fulton County down in Shaq's neck of the woods. And Fannie Willis, who is the prosecutor down there, is going for his neck and everybody that's with him. He's planned to turn himself in tomorrow and get mugshot. They said they're not going to treat him differently. They're going to mugshot, fingerprint, do all that above. And he's his bond is set at $200,000 cash, $200,000. So, with all that said, do we feel any different about this indictment than we do other ones, and why? And do we think this will have any kind of interference with his chances in the 2024 election? So I want to go one at a time. I don't know who wants to start. Shaq, you can start off, and then we'll go to Michael, and then all of
I think this is the one. Now, that doesn't mean that this is the one that stops him or ends anything. I think, but if of everything that's been going on, this has teeth. This has legs. And I'm going to tell you why I believe so. Because it's directly tied to the false allegations about the election, right? And so at this point, it's been disproven. No matter what you believe, no matter what limb you want to drop off on, you know, the facts are there. This has been discussed ad nauseum. You know, all the experts have went in. You know, we've got political people on both sides acknowledging that he lost that election. And so this and then this prosecutor right here is she's giving it everything she's got. I'm not saying she's going to win anything, but I'm saying this is the set of cases and charges to watch. If there's anything that can catch him up, it'll definitely be this. And there was just such blatant disregard for the law regarding the election. And I mean, there's just a lot here. Something's going to get him. Now, will it stop him from being the next president? Will it stop him from doing anything he does? Will he be stopped at all? Will he go to any jail time? I'm not saying any of that. But I'm saying if there was a case that I believe that could really make him feel the burn, it's this one. And you know what? Even if they don't get him, they're going to get all the other little fish, you know?
Right. These individuals right here who have already turned themselves in. Yeah, we have Rudy Giuliani. We have Sidney Powell. We have,
And not just that, though. But the people who, what's the word I'm looking for? The people who can't afford their defense. Because see, what's going to happen with this is going to be dragged out. And so only the people with the best lawyers are going to really come out of this unscathed. And people are going to feel this in their pockets. And let me tell you, I don't care how good your money is. When you start dealing with the law and you got lawyers and they charge them $500 and thousands of dollars an hour, money gets eaten up. So I don't know that anything happens to Trump, but definitely all the fish around him are going to end up belly up. So this is going to be interesting.
Michael, what do you have to say as our law individual on the panel? What do you have to say about this?
You know, so certainly this set of charges is getting a lot more attention than the last, and people seem to feel really good about it. I think for all the reasons that Shaq mentioned. I think the difficulty here, though, is that this is a set of criminal charges brought under Georgia's state law. They're equivalent to a federal RICO statute, which is like racketeer, influence, organized crime.
Okay, can I talk to you really quick?
Yeah, for sure.
Can you explain to us the difference between state charges and federal charges?
Yeah, so most crimes, as we would understand them, those are state cases, right? There are a certain subsection of crimes that amount to federal crimes. Couldn't tell you every single one. Think of things like treason, for example, or, for example, racketeering that crosses state lines. I think the prosecutor here was aggressive. She made headlines, landed with a splash, that's for sure. But I suspect that Trump will try to get this case removed to federal court, just like Mark Meadows is doing now. This whole thing will be bogged down for years. And by the way, Shaq, on your point of the smaller fish running out of money, I don't know if they ever had any to begin with. Word on the street is Giuliani's already asking Trump for some cash for his defense.
For money.
That's interesting. Marcus, do you have anything to say about this?
I think the great thing is that, as we're calling them the small fish, they're all going to turn on each other and they're all going to start spilling each other's info. So I do feel that this is going to be Trump's day in court, and we're actually going to get something out of this. Because remember, everyone has so much information, and they only care about each other, about themselves at this point. And they're running out of money if they even had any, like Michael said. So one by one, they're going to start singing like canaries. And I think that this is going to be the case that's finally going to bring him down. And once he's down, he's not going to be able to run for president because hopefully he'll be in jail where he belongs.
Okay, well, let's talk about that because I don't know too much about the law. You know, I know some things, but I was watching The View, and they posed a very interesting question. We've never had to deal with this. We've never had a maybe president be indicted. So what does that mean for like secret? How can you have a president run the country in jail with Secret Service? Like, are Secret Service even allowed in jails? Like, what is so much stuff we've never had to deal with before that we don't have laws for? Like, where do we go if he does win with this? You know, Michael, do you know anything about that? Like,
so, our Constitution does not prevent felons or people convicted of crimes from becoming president. Mm-hmm. So in theory, a conviction here wouldn't even prevent him from running or being elected. And I think if you extend that logic a little bit further, it may not even prevent the president from pardoning himself for crimes that he committed in the past.
Correct.
We all know that's things Trump has tried to do. I think at some point we draw a line, but I don't think that line will be that a felon can't run for president.
Yeah.
Another question for you. Can a president pardon himself from a state?
I don't think a president can pardon himself from any crime, to be honest, but it is something that Trump will certainly try if he is put in office again. This is not an area of law that's fleshed out. We've never had a president who's tried to pardon himself for crimes before. Trump, I think, would be the first. So in some respects, this is uncharted territory.
This is what works in Trump's favor. When we're talking like Michael said about lines, when we're talking about lines are now being created by Trump. And so what happens is in the future, we might never see another Trump, but Trump is done what Trump has done. So he's set the precedent line, right? So now things will we'll learn from this, right? And we'll think about this in the future. But I mean, Trump is wild, wild west. He's doing what he's doing.
Well,
what are we going to do about it?
Yeah. We're going to be talking about this at least for the next 2 years because
for longer.
Yeah, because the voting season is just now starting. The first Republican debate is tonight. Chicago is hosting the Democratic National Convention next summer. So it's going to be a lot coming. So we're going to have plenty of time to talk about this. So let's jump to our next story. So there was a story. We all know that Tory Lanez was found guilty for, and when I say guilty, wait, hold on, let me hide this. Guilty for, that's my opinion, for shooting Megan Thee Stallion in the foot. But recently, Whack 100, he's a DJ, he says he believes Tory Lanez is innocent and will be home in 2 years. Alleges Megan Thee Stallion's ex-bestie, Kelsey Harris, shot her. Now, I think there's some merit to this. Don't send me your tweets. Don't at me. Don't be in my inbox. I said what I said, and I believe what I believe. This case was too murky from the beginning for me to say that he shot her because the best friend was found not. There was a whole bunch of circumstantial evidence. It's been said a lot of people believe the best friend shot her, and her and Megan were in cahoots against Tory because Tory already had some past stuff going on with the law. And then the driver changed the limousine driver changed his story. Then the neighbor said he saw something that he didn't. Then he said he didn't see. So it was a lot of stuff. And I think, in my opinion, I think it should have been declared a mistrial. And I think an innocent man has been sent into prison. That's my opinion. But I don't know. Shaq, I know you have a lot to say. What do you got?
Oh my goodness! You know what? First of all, the first thing that has to be said, no matter which side of the coin you are on, they were drunk. All right. So alcohol is bad. All right. Now, with that being said, I am of the opinion that he more than likely shot her. I do not believe Tory at all. But here's the thing. I never really, when I talk about this, aside from me making sure to say very loudly, protect Black women, outside of that, I do not like to focus on the shooting because there is just so much that he did wrong before and after that. I mean, you are an immigrant, sir. You are a felon, sir, with a gun, sir. You have been told not to disparage people in the press, and so you're in the press and you're putting out CDs disparaging everybody and acting a fool. Everybody around you is acting a fool. During the time that you're going through this, you're attacking people like August Alsina, a man who has health issues. You're antagonizing any and everybody. You're tweeting. You're putting out albums. He cut up. You're not even a citizen and you're in trouble and you're a criminal. So never mind any of this. All of his behavior leading up to this and then after this, and even while he was incarcerated, all of it was atrocious. So, we don't have to talk about him shooting anybody. The law is sick of him.
Get him out of here.
So now everybody wants to yell about what's wrong and Megan and this and that. And I'm just like, okay, well, just eliminate Megan. He's still wrong. His two left shoes and he need to be locked up, and that's why he is. So there you go. I don't want to argue with people about whether or not he shot that woman. He did something, and even if he hit, and whether or not he shot her, all those other things are still true in the way he behaved after. And you know what? If he hadn't shot her, there were ways to go about saying he didn't do it. That didn't include making an album and talking about her and disparaging her in the press and all the threats and everything. Like, hey, I'm sorry you got shot, but it wasn't me. That he has never said anything even remotely close to that. You should be sorry that a woman got shot. Period. Whether you did it or not, where is the empathy? So, like, is he guilty or not? Who cares? He's wrong, and that's why he locked up.
So you don't think that you don't feel as sorry at all for a black man who might have been wrongly accused?
I do not feel sorry for a very rich, famous, well-connected black man who basically locked himself up at this point. I mean, look at how he has behaved. That's why I always say, why do we even talk so much about Megan? Because the way he went about this, everything is just wrong. 21 Savage also has some immigration issues. Now that's how you behave when you an immigrant and you in trouble. We didn't see none of that from the little miniature loud man who was cutting up.
Isn't an artist allowed to express how they feel? I mean, he was releasing it through music. He was releasing it through tweets. I mean, that was his way of coping. How do we really know that he even did this? I mean, it seems that like the whole thing protecting black women. What about protecting black men? I mean,
if we eliminate the shooting,
as well.
Tory still needs to be locked up based on what he's done. Let me see you, Marcus, run around as an immigrant and as a felon with a gun, running around cutting up and showing your butt and talking loud in the press and disobeying judges' orders. Let's see you do that and see how it turns out for you.
No, I mean, granted, his approach definitely wasn't admirable or smart, but I mean, people make mistakes. That doesn't necessarily mean that he's guilty. I think that he needs another trial. I think that
what makes him guilty? A jury of 10 of his peers convicted him of the crime.
Exactly. He was convicted.
Correct.
Anything you hear on the other side of this is really kind of gazing into the tea leaves here. He has a confession that was taped on a prison phone call. He has multiple text messages to both parties here.
He testified.
Saying, you're reading the tea leaves. Don't do it.
But
both parties here apologizing for what he did. Gunpowder residue on his clothes. Why even wonder about this one? If there was a way to get this guy off, he would have had it. That didn't sound right. But I promise you, he had the best attorneys that money can buy.
He sent himself to jail, y'all.
A jury convicted this man. There's nothing to really talk about.
That's all I'm saying. Megan is the least interesting part of this at this point.
I promise. I do not care about her foot.
Okay.
Well, I don't even know why we even said anything, because there you go right there.
And on that, I'll stick a pin in this conversation. Go into our next story. This really kills me. Okay, I gotta get serious. There was a California store owner shot to death over a pride flag that was displayed at her shop. The story says, hold on, sorry. A woman's life has tragically been cut short, all for displaying a pride flag at her shop. The victim, identified as Lori Ann Carlton, was fatally shot by a man who made disparaging comments about a pride flag displayed at Magpie, her clothing store located in California. San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies responded to the shop in Cedar Glen, California at around 5 p.m. local time for reports of a shooting. While arriving at the scene, deputies discovered the 66-year-old suffering from a gunshot wound.
What the fuck is going on in California?
Exactly, that's right outside of Los Angeles too. And there's
Like,
been
are you
violence
serious?
there before.
Like, this must have been some bigot that was traveling or something, because this shit does not happen in California. Like, have they identified who the killer is yet?
No, yeah, they've
He was
identified.
killed. He was
He was
killed.
in custody. It was a hate crime.
Yeah.
No,
I thought he was killed.
They shot and killed the killer. Yeah.
That's what I said. I thought he was killed.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
still,
okay. Wow.
you know, I think people take
Sonny,
for granted places like Chicago, LA. We live in such a liberal bubble in these cities. Detroit,
Hate is everywhere.
Atlanta. You're right. It's everywhere. But I think people take for granted that we live in those liberal areas sometimes, that they think, oh, nothing will ever happen to gay people around here.
Yeah.
Right. And this just kind of makes the situation closer to home, because we have people in my building who display pride flags outside their windows.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that's pretty common now. So
right, so that it's scary. Somebody can walk by and shoot through your window or shoot you over something, you know.
That don't have nothing to do with
I've never
them.
been one to display things. I don't trust people.
What'd you say, Shaq? Say that again.
I've never been one to display things. I don't trust people.
That's
People
a good.
are crazy.
Okay.
And we have
It makes
this
you a target.
really, yes.
Stop
And
it.
there's this huge misconception that if you live in liberal areas that you can't encounter hate or racism. You know, but racism
You're
can
an
be,
easier target.
yeah, you know, there's two, sometimes it's in your face and sometimes it's quiet, right? Overt, covert, like no thank you.
That's a good conversation to have, because me and Hector walk down our street in downtown. We hold hands and we don't think anything of it, but who knows who we could walk upon, you know. We think because we live in Chicago, that's fine. I don't know if I do it in Tampa or Arkansas or Mississippi, but I have no problem doing it here. That's a good conversation. Marcus, what do you have to say about that? Do you and your significant other hold hands, do PDA, any of that stuff?
Well, we do, but also, like you said, we live in a very liberal part of South Florida. We live in Fort Lauderdale, where it's like very liberal, very like, you know, carefree. We live near Wilton Manors, which is predominantly gay. So it's, you know, we don't have to encounter those type of things because everyone around us is predominantly gay. So
it's a hot gay scene. I love that scene.
I've never been there before.
It's hot.
Yeah,
oh my
so
God,
we really don't have to deal with that, to be honest. So I fortunately can't relate.
I've never been there, so I guess I'm just waiting for an invitation. Hint, hint. Sorry.
You hate
Oh,
the
yeah.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. That's why I use those words.
You should come.
But see, that's why I use those words specifically, covert versus overt, right? Because it can be visible or it can be hidden. And I think that we go to places where it's more liberal and open, and you get this false sense of security. But hate is everywhere. And I'm not saying don't trust your area, but I am saying that we need to remain vigilant. We are not there. You get off of TikTok. That is not the real world.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. Michael, Brandi, Kate, do you have anything to say about this story or anything about this subject at all?
You know, I'm just glad that we have laws in place for hate crimes, you know, that specifically are for people that attack people because of their religion, because of their race, because of their sexual preference. It's, you know, I'm glad that those are in place. And it's terrible, but this actually does happen quite a bit in California. And as you know, I think, you know, we had a friend, your best friend, you know, dying in being murdered in San Francisco. I mean, and that is such a gay place. You know? It's devastating.
You just brought that back home. I forgot about that. My best friend Brian was murdered in where was he at? Kate?
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Right.
He was beat to death, and they still haven't found his.
Sorry, I just pulled that up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Flabbergasted. I'm sorry.
If anything, I think it's easier in places where people are so open because you're visible. They can see
you're an easier target. They know exactly where you are.
You know, I think about that often when I go to like Boys Town. Even just who I am now as a person, I always go in places looking for exits, and I'm always looking about people coming in. But like going like into an all gay city like Boys Town, you often think about that. So yeah, you're right, Shaq. Michael, do you have anything to say?
I think this is a heartbreaking situation. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but I did read that she is actually an ally of the community, is married with a husband and children. So, made even more perhaps doubly sad that this is the person who stood up for us, and this is the unfortunate outcome.
Yeah,
But that's who you
really
go
terrible.
for. Like, go for allies. If I was looking to hurt the community, I wouldn't kill members of the community. I would kill members that support the community. I would scare supporters.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus, that cat's not gonna worry me. Okay.
Aw.
So let's move on to the meat and potatoes of the show. I know everybody's been asking me what I think because everybody knows Brittany is. When it comes to entertainers, it's Michael. For me, Shaq, don't say shit. For me,
Yeah.
She's starting.
performers who have influenced my career as a performer, it'd be Michael, Britney Spears, Beyonce, Janet Jackson, in that order. Britney's I'm one of her biggest fans.
Yeah, I love her.
And so people have been asking me what I think about this divorce, what she's going through, how she's been acting, all of that.
Oh.
So everyone knows her husband has filed for divorce, citing I don't know if this is like news or is this a rumor that she was unfaithful. That's what has been said. Kate, shut up. So what do we think? I know Kate has a lot to say about this. I know Marcus has a lot to say. Shaq has a lot to say. So this is going to be a minute on this story alone. But I also want to go into what this means for her career. I hear she has a deal with Oprah about to happen. I hear she's in the studio with her old producers. And I hear she's about to reunite with her dad. And she wants to work again. So what does all this mean? So let's start from the top and go all the way to the bottom. So Marcus, what do you have to say?
Well, first of all, I'm just so happy that Brittany is finally getting rid of Sam. Sam has been using her. He's literally just been fucking her for money. He didn't give a fuck about her. I mean, if you know, let's just take a little moment back. Sam was with Brittany while she was under the conservatorship. Now, if you remember the details about the conservatorship, nothing was approved in her life without the father's approval. So how did Sam become her boyfriend / fiance without the dad's approval? That's the first red flag. That's how you already know that the dad and Sam were working in cahoots. Even after the dad was no longer the conservator, he was still talking to Sam and they were still in cahoots. So he's always been a piece of shit. So let's be happy that he's finally gone and good riddance. He's not getting any fucking money. The prenup is fucking solid, and he's not getting anything. Her career. The bitch is running out of money. Her deal with Oprah is coming. Her book is about to come out, and let's deal with it. Her kids are about to be 18, so she doesn't have to pay alimony to Kevin anymore. So she needs to start making money for herself again. She's finally in control of it. So she's doing the book deal. She's going to be back in the studio to make new music, hopefully not with will.i.am. And, I think that she's going to do another residency because she needs to be stable. She's not mentally, like strong enough to, tour around yet. So I think a residency with people around her, her doctors, everything grounded would be good for her. I think that she's going to make the comeback. You got to remember, America loves a good break them down, make them feel like a piece of shit, tear them down, and then put them right back up in their pedestal. We love breaking our stars down. And now it's time for her to come back like a phoenix and prove everybody wrong.
Let's hear from someone who is not such a fan. Shaq, what do you have to say about
that's really unfair to me that y'all think that I'm just it's not that I'm not a fan of Britney.
No, I'm going to tell you, every time we bring it up in our private little group, you always laughy face or something. You just, go ahead.
I am not discounting what Britney's done. Like, Britney her reign was her reign. you know, and it was great. I just think that it's over. And I think that if she does a residency, her residency should just be doing her greatest hits and leaving it alone. I think that Britney's done. I think that her form of entertainment helped usher in where we are now. I do not think that what she was doing then holds as well now. I think it's nostalgic, it's great, but we're seeing
why don't
on
you
the
think
internet
it
all the
holds
time.
now?
Don't nobody want to see that.
I was just gonna say nobody wants to see her.
Okay, but I'm not talking about her just spinning around in her living room with her little tight panties on. I'm talking about, you don't think people want to
If
see
Brittany
her?
want to put on her outfit and do "I'm a Slave for You,"
Hold on. We can't have two people talking because it distorts. Go ahead, Marcus. Then go Shaq.
No, Shaq, go ahead. If Brittany wants to do,
if she want to put on the outfit and grab a snake and do "I'm a Slave for You" and recreate it, I guess there'd be a little tingle. But overall, I think that sometimes legends are just, what they did was great in its moment, and that's it. So unless you just want to do like a Backstreet Boy style comeback tour, cool. But I don't want to see no new Britney Spears music. I don't want to see no new Britney.
well,
Britney,
you don't think?
But Britney Spears isn't your demographic, so you wouldn't want to see any new Britney music either. It's really bad to discount her when she's been with artists like Pink. Pink has new music.
You are not going to mention Britney in the same conversation as Pink or Beyonce.
You are going to, because you are going to.
More legendary.
You are going to,
way more legendary than Pink.
Because the most legendary of performers will list Miss Spears on their list. Michael has, Beyonce has.
I'm not taking away from Britney. What she did was cool when she did it. I'm just simply saying, no.
So, do you feel the same way about Janet Jackson? You don't like to hear new Janet music? A new Janet show?
You did not just ask me about Janet Jackson.
But you're saying this. But you're saying Britney Spears. Hold on. Britney Spears and Janet Jackson have the same type of entertainment. They give you the same thing. They give you a hair flip and a lip sing. So what's the difference?
Yeah.
Does Britney have?
Can I chime in?
Yeah, let Brandi chime in.
It ain't every day I'm silenced, but I'm silenced.
Hold on. Let Brandi chime in.
I think for the fact that Janet has been doing what she's been doing so long and always made it look good, I wouldn't mind seeing her put on a show. Britney she comes off as trashy to me. I don't want to see her put on no show.
Thank you. No.
Okay, I will give Brandi that, because I have said multiple times, Britney has the world of designers at her disposal, and she chooses to walk around in Walmart shorts. That's something. When you are a certain caliber, you should carry yourself a certain way. And I believe Britney fails at that. So I will give Brandi that.
I think Britney owned her moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
Her moment. Some artists are through the ages. They'll keep going. They'll keep moving. Beyonce's like that. Britney is not like that.
Who do we have?
Had her moment, and it was great.
Can you listen? Hold on. Can you Shaq and Brandi combined? Can you list me 5 new performers who can put on a show like Britney can? New performers, new.
Ariana.
New.
My girl Monet, I like her. I don't know why all of a sudden it's.
Oh yeah, she is really nice.
Oh, she's so good. She's so good.
That's not the same caliber. He might not.
Yeah, it's not. But whatever. She's a performer. Okay.
Ariana.
I'll give Grande. You know what? Look. Britney walked so Taylor Swift could fly. There you go.
It's not the same.
They're 2 different type of performers.
It's not the same.
We are exploiting Britney Spears. She cannot do a tour.
Wait, were we supposed to be talking about her divorce after all?
Okay, let's get back to the divorce. I'm sorry. Yes, let's get back to the divorce. So from the beginning, I thought this was a money grab. He didn't seem invested to me. He didn't seem. It just didn't seem. It wasn't given passion. It wasn't given, I love you above all. That's my opinion. Michael, do you have something to say about that? The divorce?
So I think my question is similarly pragmatic. And I like Britney, by the way. I am a Britney fan. Has she done a single interview since her conservatorship ended?
And she shouldn't.
And there's probably a reason for that.
I believe real divas don't have to. Beyonce hasn't given an interview in.
I'm with you there.
We're talking about legends and saying Britney.
But I don't think it's for the same reason, because I would juxtapose that with her social media activity. So clearly she wants to be out there and
Mhm.
scene. I don't know. The whole thing seemed a little strange to me that she got married so quickly once it was over. Celebrity-studded wedding. Those never end well.
But it did make sense though. She wanted her freedom and she wanted to get out there. And I was
She
one of
was
those
with
people
him for
yelling
3 years. It
free
wasn't
Britney.
like she married him after 3 months.
Yeah, I wanted her to be free, and I wanted her to be able to do all the things she's doing. She deserves it, but
I wish I had my girl Mandy on here tonight. She would be right with me. But Kate, what do you have? I know you're Brittany, kind of a stan.
Well, I love Brittany, but she does not have the mental capacity to do a tour, to do a Vegas residency. Like, she needs to just chill at her home, and if she wants to get on Instagram and reach out to her fans, it's wonderful. But I just think it's she's being exploited, and I'm just more concerned about like her well-being and her mental well-being, and I just would prefer that she's at home and just focus on like how she can rebuild her life and just not mess around with like these little boy toys that are just trying to social climb through Hollywood. And now he's forever what is he gonna be, an influencer now? Like, that's gonna be his next move. And while he's he's sexy and those arms and like he looks
like
good, but like he's not trying to be with her. She's not
did she call out all his fineness?
Yeah.
I know, I'm like, damn,
and
he's a good looking dude. I give him that.
Oh yeah, she was a lucky bitch for him and getting him in the bed. I will say that. He's good.
Well, Brittany is known to be a sex addict.
He was lucky. He was lucky. Listen, never mind that I'm not. I don't think she legend. She is Britney Spears. That she's still Britney Spears. He got really, really lucky.
Yeah,
really, really lucky.
Yeah, he got a good payout.
Yeah. If nothing else, this level of fame, this level of attention.
Okay, well, we have a lot to get through tonight, so let's move to our next story. The Peoples, well, not the Peoples, our Little Mermaid is rumored to be pregnant by rapper DDG. I've never heard of him before. If that nigga came and bumped me in the head on the street, I wouldn't know who he was.
That's one of the TikTok generation people, the YouTube boys.
So, it's rumored that she's pregnant. Her sister has said she's not going to talk about it. She's been wearing baggy clothes.
Is that all the evidence we have?
That's all the evidence we had. But last night she posted this picture, but you really can't tell much from that picture.
Well, come on now. No. I mean, we won't know until she's like so much further along. We just can't be outing women for pregnancy. But if she is, a baby's a blessing. She's going to slay a pregnancy, honey. She got it.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Black Twitter is upset.
It's horrible timing.
I'm disappointed in her.
Black Twitter is upset because they feel that we put a lot into her. And for a lot who is given, a lot is expected. So I think some of us feel that she's let us down. You are the first bitch who Disney, besides Brandi, put a black princess up there who was not supposed to be a black princess, besides the Princess and the Frog. But we weren't supposed to have a black Ariel. So I think people, and it said that Disney was making a Little Mermaid 2 specifically for her. So now does that happen? We all know Disney doesn't play games. We already dealing with a black girl. I thought Beyonce would have taught her better. This is a Beyonce artist. If you're gonna go get pregnant, you at least get a Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? So what do we think? Like, all of that said, I know we can't be mad at women for being pregnant and doing what they want to do, but Shaq,
I absolutely can understand that angle. And there's that part of me that's just like, oh girl, you're at the height of your career, what you doing with this little rapper? And there's been a little strife with him as well. Like, he had went viral for saying some stuff that kind of seemed disparaging towards her and stuff. And so there's been little things, and he's of course a rapper, and it's just like, girl, you can do so much better, blah blah blah. But with all that being said, no matter how much I may think about stuff like that, what I always come back to, because I'm old, is I always come back to Bobby and Whitney. And I think about how Whitney was seen as being the end all be all that way, and we saw what that did to her. And so I think the lesson that I took from that, and that we all should take from that, is that they are entertainers second. First, they are humans and they have their own lives, and we should just enjoy the art and let them people live. It was disastrous, that level of scrutiny for Whitney. You have to think about how disastrous that was for her. And Whitney was before all of the lights that we have now. You know, so imagine that type of thing and what it can do to her. And so when I think about it like that, I just find myself getting quiet.
That's interesting. Brandi, do you have anything to say about this? I know we were talking about it yesterday.
I think it looks a mess. It sounds a mess. It's trashy. I think though, if it's true, I feel like it has to be her throwing in a towel. She got to know that, you know what I'm saying? It might be too much pressure. I feel like she's not really popping off like she should be. Like her name floats around, but it's not like, you know what I'm saying? Where's the fireworks? I feel like that's where she should be by now with all that she's done. She's like you said, Beyonce's protege. She done put out an album. She's the first black Ariel. Bitch, your shit's supposed to be lit up like, you know what I'm saying? So maybe she's going through some things. Maybe it's a mental thing for her. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, why was she at this age and then why would she choose him?
Right.
Why would you even entertain that for the fact that you're in the industry and I know there's other people in the industry that's checking for you? Why would you even, you know what I'm saying?
But does she want that adulation that we're putting on her? Is that what she wants? Maybe it's not what she wants.
If she didn't, she wouldn't be in the industry.
Well, that's why I said her having this baby with this bum is her throwing in a towel. Maybe she don't want it.
It's disgusting. It's sad and
Maybe
disgusting.
she don't.
I'm embarrassed.
Michael, do you have anything to say?
Oh, it's a weird thing, I think, to talk about a woman's pregnancy before it's confirmed, right? Something about that fundamentally makes me a little uncomfortable. And that's probably where I'll leave it, right? When she comes out with it, then I'm ready to talk about it.
I respect that.
Michael is a zaddy.
Yeah. maybe we'll end it there and we'll go to our next juicy story. Okay, hold on. Let me get my.
That's not the right picture, though.
Okay. Yeah. Let me get
there. It is.
There he goes.
Okay, well, first we got to show this picture. So Housewives of Atlanta, and I use the word star very lightly because she hasn't done much this season. But Housewife of Atlanta star Monyetta Shaw, who is Neil's ex-wife, has recently been scrutinized by saying she agrees with her ex-husband's comments about transgender, and she said she does not believe his comments. She does not agree with him. It's the news is reported that Neil's ex Monyetta Shaw Carter says his views on LGBT community don't align with her views. Those views are his. Neil condemns parents allowing children to transition genders. He says in quotes, "When did it become okay to let a 12-year-old make a life-changing decision?" End quote. So, before we even get started on this, because I know we're going to have a lot, I'm going to be the villain, Marcus will probably be the villain, Brandi will probably be the villain. We have lots to say about this, so let's talk one at a time. And let's let each other finish, and then we will go from there. So, Marcus, what do you have to say about Neo's comments?
First of all, I love that we took a shady-ass picture.
Say that again?
I'm sorry. I love that we picked that shady-ass picture. Let's start with that. Because those DSLs are DSLing, but let's focus on what's really going on here. Neo has every right to his opinion. What he is saying is that a kid, a 12-year-old, who doesn't even know how to wipe their own ass, shouldn't decide if they want to be a male or a female, or if they want to be a dinosaur or a bus. Kids don't know what they want to be at that age. When you're 18 and you know what, and you've seen the proper people and you've made the proper procedures, then yeah, you decide to what you want to be. But when you're a fucking kid and you don't even know what left and right is or your timetables, you can't decide what sexuality you want to be. I mean, Neil has every right to feel that way, especially with 5 sons. I mean, you know what I mean?
Can I correct you really quick? We're talking about the gender, not the sexuality.
Well, then I changed sexuality to gender. Same stance.
Okay. You can't. I just wanted to make sure I didn't want nobody inboxing me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
like you can't. I'm sorry, but if anyone that has kids or nieces and nephews, you know that kids don't know what the heck they want. You take them to McDonald's, and 1 minute they want a chicken nugget, but then when they get there, they want 2 cheeseburgers, but then they want a Sprite, then they want a water, and then you know what I mean? Kids don't know what they want. How are you going to let them decide the gender of who they should be?
Can I ask you a question really quick? Because I feel a certain way about sexuality. I feel a different way about gender. I knew from the time I was in kindergarten, boys were cute.
But that's sexuality. That's
I know. That's okay. And I was going to ask you the same question. Did you know that when you were younger that you thought boys were good looking, or you had something different about boys?
When I was younger, absolutely. Did I focus on it and really like chime into it? No, because in my upbringing, that really wasn't something that was like really predominant around me. I was more interested in like toys and like running around and like, but did I notice that? Absolutely. But it wasn't something that was like honed in on what I focused on.
Okay, Michael.
Actually,
same question
no.
to you. Same question to you.
I really didn't until puberty, honest to God.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shaq, same question to you.
I didn't have language for it, because I did live in a smaller town and things were very hidden, and so I didn't have language for it. So the first thing I would say is, did I know? Not necessarily, but I knew that I wanted to be the dad all the time. And when I got older and look back on it, I do realize what it was. And I think that if I grew up in this current time, I would have known early, because I knew there was something going on with me. But again, I didn't have language for it. I didn't see anything like it. And all I'd ever seen were men and women together. I really didn't figure out what was going on with me until we got dial up when I was like 15 or 16. And I went to like Yahoo back then or whatever it was, and I typed in girls kissing girls. And that's how I figured it out, because I just didn't have language or representation.
Okay.
So technically, no. Actually, yes. It was early. It was kindergarten. Yeah.
Kate, did you know when you were in first grade that you were more into boys?
Was like
natural?
I was like horny from the jump. Like I wanted boys. Like I was wild. I don't even know. I had like ADHD, and it made me just like, I was like kissing boys. I was like holding boys down. Like I was a predator.
Brandi, same question to you.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think you kind of just know what you feel is cute, or get all giddy and smile around them and shit like that. I guess so.
Right. Okay. So now back to the gender of it all. Do we feel that, I know to me it's unacceptable. So even if I had a child and I'm a gay dad, and I had a child that came to me, if one of my niece and nephews, my Ryan, who I love to death, told me she wanted to be a man, I love her. I'd do anything in the world for her, but I'd be like, no, that's no. Okay, that's cool, but no.
So, as a child, no.
Guys,
do what you want to do when you get grown.
Mm-hmm. But when we talk about this, guys, are we talking about
like full transition?
Right, because we're not talking about full transition here. We're talking about identity more,
like pronouns.
Pronouns and how they.
I'm not calling you a boy. I'm not calling you a boy if you're a girl. I'm not doing that.
Me neither. Nope.
I don't know.
I would do it for my kids. I know I would, and I would do it.
I think if my kids felt strongly enough.
At what age would you do it, Caitlin?
Well,
would you do it at 4 years old?
I think it would probably start with just maybe non-gender specific, like clothing. Like if you don't want to wear pink, you don't have to. If you want to paint your nails, you can. But I don't live on like the trajectory of like other people. Like if my kid was getting bullied at school, I would pull him out and he would do virtual learning, or I'd move him to another school. Like I'm gonna make life work for my child. So I'm not going to make my child fall in line with what everybody thinks, like with what the United States thinks that they need to do. I'm going to do what works best in my family, because during these adolescent years, they're just so short. My child could make a mistake. If it was a mistake and they were just going to change their mind the next day, I would allow it to happen because we'll go from there. If you want to transition to a female and use different pronouns, I mean, without the surgery, then if you really want to do that, then you know what, go ahead. But you just, you know, if you're worried about people bullying you for it, we're going to have to handle it situationally. But obviously I'm going to support the best way that I can and just, you know, do you need to talk to somebody? How can I help you? Like, how can I assist you? But I mean, as far as telling them,
I called my son Peter Parker for 3 weeks for sure. That's what he was into. So he was Peter Parker, you know, like, and now he's back in his name. So
I think Kate
I just want to support
very.
I just want to support kids the best way that I can. I just want to lend an
Kate,
ear
and you don't want to silence them. You know, the minute you start telling them no, and they don't know themselves, they grow up thinking they don't know themselves.
But there's a
Kate made a very good. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Ashleigh. Go ahead.
Oh no, I said I wanted to thank Kate for making that statement. She made you are making this decision, so you're gonna have to deal with it because it's the same kind of thing. My mom, when I told her I was gay, she's like, "Okay, that's fine. You're not telling me nothing I didn't know, but you're gonna have to deal with this at school." And so I had to deal with it at school. Like I was one of the first in my school at Comstock to come out as gay. I lived my life proudly. I wore rainbows to school. I was on the cheerleading team. I did Britney dances down the hallway. Kate knows she was there, and I was severely teased and hit, but one day I got tired of it, and I started hitting motherfuckers back, and then I could be who I want to be, and nobody mess with me. But I think kids today aren't as brave as that because it's always a rule or make them feel comfortable. They don't have to be that strong these days. And I think that's a problem too. Michael, do you have anything to say? You've been quiet in this conversation.
Yeah, kind of taking it all in on this stuff. I mean, there's one really specific part of this I think that makes me uncomfortable, and not in a way that I find it like repulsive, but that I don't understand, right? How young do we allow children to get gender reassignment surgeries or puberty blockers or things of that nature? And there's not a lot of science on all that stuff yet, but the stuff that we do have that I have read seems to say that there should be a robust period of mental health evaluation before all this stuff occurs. And I think that's the part now that is falling by the wayside because there's been such a massive influx of transgender folks. Maybe now that's the product of acceptance in the greater culture, right? There just isn't the dedicated team of professionals who can really determine who among you better stop playing with me on that picture.
I hate it.
Right? Come on, breaking it right up. But no, there's just not enough professionals who specialize in this stuff until you're seeing a lot of these younger folks really being able to access hormones, puberty blockers very easily. And I'm not sure that we've got the proper safeguards in place for that.
But I think that when we're talking about all this stuff, I don't know that all these young people are doing all of that though. Like I don't know.
It's just a range.
That's as rampant as we think it is. I think most of it is surrounding identity. There are not. I don't think there's this huge rush to cut up children and give. No, I don't think that's happening.
It is identity and like self-expression.
It's self-expression and identity most of the time.
But I think Michael does have a valid opinion.
Adults who still haven't done anything, like
Well,
identity.
We're always talking about something trans on the panel.
That's all. Get beat up in the boys' bathroom if they have on a dress. That's all.
Like I said, we're always talking about something trans on this panel, so I'm sure we'll be talking about something else next week. Trans. We all have our different opinions. We all have our different views. That's what makes us great.
Trans rights.
Until they're 18. Trans lives matter.
Yeah. Well, even if you're 18, can they afford it, y'all? Healthcare is very expensive, y'all.
But I don't want to stay too long on this, but you do know that Obamacare pays for gender reassignment surgeries. I just found that out.
That's what I use.
Yeah, and you have to go through.
Obamacare,
you have to go. What?
It's pretty expensive. You've been on the market.
But you have to go through. I heard you have to go through so many like psychiatrist stuff before, mental stuff before. But Obamacare does pay for that.
So
We do. Let's move on. So this is not too much of a real big story, but it's been a lot on Instagram, Facebook, in the blogger world. Sheree Whitfield, one of the OGs of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, had a birthday party recently, and when the bill came, her boyfriend asked everyone for their cash app, their money for him for the bill. So the question is, if your boyfriend is at I want to know this because my man's birthday dinner is Friday. So I'm interested to hear what people are saying. We're going to a very expensive restaurant, and I already told people, bring your money. But I'll pay for my man, but I'm not paying for all you hoes. So when your boyfriend is present, who pays for the birthday dinner? The other housewives said that he should have covered the whole thing. There's some people said he should have covered just Sheree's. There's some people who said he was vindicated in asking for cash apps. So let's have this conversation. Michael, what do you think about this?
Oh, 100% the boyfriend should pay, right? They hosted the meal. They invited those people out. You're paying the ticket. And that's how I roll too, and that's how all my friends are. I cannot even imagine it any other way. Going around to people and saying, cash at me some money after this nice meal, forget about it. You're not getting an invite to the next one.
Ooh, okay. Marcus, what do you have to say?
I'm 100% with Michael. I'm even gagging that someone would ask for my Zelle or my Cash App if I'm invited to a dinner. That's so ghetto. Like, I would be so offended. I would pay my rent and leave and never go back to another dinner. If I invite my friends to a birthday dinner, I'm inviting them. Why would they pay? I invited you out, so we're obviously taking care of the tab because we invited you out. Like, you're our guest.
Shaq?
Oh, honey, I am a single mother.
Okay.
Do I need to continue? I'm a single mother. Y'all better pay for y'all shit.
All right, Brandi?
Or don't come.
I feel like in general, the rule is he should have paid for it and just knocked it on out the way. But he didn't have to. I feel like that's something that should have been established prior to inviting guests or going out to dinner. 1,000% he was going to pay for himself and his girlfriend or wife. I don't know what him and Sheree are doing. But that other part is kind of like, was that part of what we was doing or not?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, before I go in, Kate, what do you have to say?
I'm the type that I would like pay myself. Like, I usually front the bill for like my birthday and just invite all my friends. But I know my man's got it, so he better put it on that Amex, baby. You know what to do. Write that shit off.
Okay,
like the issue real quick, it wasn't established ahead of time. Let's not establish it at the table.
Right.
Okay. So let me tell you.
If someone can afford it, I would never like press that. Like if I was dating a guy
so let me
going through a hard time, I'd be like, okay, babe, just
I'll
pay for it. You give me back.
Okay, so let me say this. So when I sent invitations out for my man's birthday dinner this Friday, I established that up front. I said, okay, we are going to this restaurant. It's small plates, you know. Then people ask me, well, who's responsible? Who are we paying?
If I come, I'll pay for mine.
Right. So so my mom and my aunt are coming. Of course, I have them. I have my man, and I have me. But I don't think I should be paying for so and so's 8 martinis. They want to get messed up and keep ordering martinis, and they $30 a glass. I think that's different. Some people don't know how to act when they go out, and they just will order and order if they know you got it, and then the bill comes.
Ashleigh taps on you in that Dior.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Right. The tab comes $2,000. They get up and wipe their plate and they leave. And there's an issue with that, Michael.
No issue.
You don't agree? Okay. Well, Michael, I'm coming to Detroit, and we're going out.
I wish you would. You'll see how we do it here. If I invite you out, it's on me 100% of the time. I hope you don't buy $10 drinks.
But also, like, I feel like my friends.
No, I was just saying, I hope you don't act a fool and buy, $10, $30 drinks. But if you do, I'm still going to handle it. Maybe after it's all said and done, a day or two later, I'll come to you and say, hey, what was that about or whatever. But I look at it like this. I wouldn't have extended an invite if I couldn't afford to take care of my own. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to make sure everyone can have a good time. No one is self-conscious about what they can afford on that menu. They can afford to have that drink or whatever. I'm just happy you're here, and I want you to be relaxed. That's why I do it.
And if you got it, so I ain't mad at you, Michael, but I ain't got it.
I respect that. I
But
respect everybody's opinion.
With that being said, I have decided I'm going to do something, and I paid for everything. But it was established up front. Like, I got this. If you want anything else, do you? You know, like, there's conversations. I've thrown barbecues. I didn't ask anybody for anything. If you want to bring something, you can or you can't. This is the set menu. If you want extra, you bring it. The issue is, I think, the conversation, because as a single mother, but I have paid. It's been established beforehand what would and wouldn't happen. I can understand how, as we're all sitting at the table, now you talking about seeing cash apps, it's a little tacky, and it's a little like, you could have told me that, so I can see why it would be looked down upon, but I do think we just need to live in a world where everybody offers. At least,
I think that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I'll say, no, I got it, or hey, I appreciate it, or we'll deal with it later, or offer, but don't assume on anybody. You don't know what people you don't know people's lives.
Right.
But yeah, but it was tacky, the cash app thing. Like, hey. You're like, come on, man.
Right. And especially he's a celebrity too. So I mean, we're not celebrities.
Yeah, he should have covered it.
And then if that was the case, then he should have said that from jump to that server and not call, like, let you communicate with your server up front so there's no snafu later,
Right.
Okay. Well, I respect everyone's opinion. Let's move on to my favorite portion of the show.
Ooh.
We have Fashion Files.
Yes.
We're going to try to speed through this because we have come sit on my couch, so we're not going to spend a lot of time on these looks, so we're going to go right through them. First, we have Kendall Jenner and Gucci.
It's cute.
Meh.
It's kind of basic, but I like it.
I feel like Kendall's so basic to me. So like anything she wears is like, I just feel like she's such a nutso. Like
she's a supermodel. She doesn't have to put on a Technicolor wardrobe. Her body and her face sell.
Y'all remember when you was a kid? I know the ladies on the car remember when you was a kid. Your mom make you put on those stockings. We had to wear stockings when we was a kid. It looked like she just kept pulling it up, because and
Michael,
her body does look amazing though. Her body
she look good in that stocking, baby.
Yeah, it's milk toast. It's bland. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's all right.
Okay, moving on. We have Madonna and her girls in Dolce & Gabbana.
Oh, this is fashion?
Okay, this I like quite a lot.
It's Dolce & Gabbana.
Oh,
I love it. I think
Madonna this is doing it for me, 100%.
The kids look cute. They look cute. I don't know what's happening.
I like it.
Love it.
It's cute.
I love it.
I think her hair, her makeup, everything. She hasn't looked this good in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't look like plastic and weird. She looks good.
Yeah. Brandi, what do you think?
Trash.
Okay. Moving on. We have Kelly Rowland and Laquan Smith.
Oh yes. Hello. My lesbian sensor went off, but my lesbian tingle.
You know what? I think Kelly looks amazing. Her body looks on point. It just feels like her skin would be chafing in that.
Yeah, it's a weird fabric. Michael, what do you think?
Oh, this is a hard. I mean, she looks wonderful, but it looks like one of them leotards that, kind of cut you off at the downstairs with the skirt. I don't even know.
It doesn't film well. It doesn't photo well.
It doesn't. It's not photographing well. Maybe that's it.
It's the background for me.
I'd like to see how it moves in person. Brandi, what do you think?
I like the color. I don't like how it's sitting on. I don't think it's flattering at all.
Okay, moving on. We have Chloe. We have Chloe Bailey and Mugler.
I hate that
I love a Mugler dress. I love a Mugler dress. It cuts out in all the right places. I love it.
If that baby was in her 30s, I would talk about my lesbian tingle, but she a little too young for me. But with that said, girl, you look good, girl. She look good.
Okay, Brandi, what do you think?
It's all right. What you say, Marcus? I missed it.
I feel like all the housewives wear this pattern, like in a bodysuit.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't like it.
She
overdone.
I don't know.
Michael?
I love
Michael,
everything but the color. It's just a little too much true white, I think. A little too stark.
Okay, moving on.
Y'all
We
hate me.
have who is this? Let me look at my list. We have we have
See me and Melody.
we have Offset and Chrome Hearts.
Man,
Now-
you just didn't have nothing else to do.
Well,
You
no,
just didn't have
because
nothing else to do.
I wanted to put this up here because everybody was talking about me when I posted this, and this was like 6 months ago. And then I start seeing all the other guys start wearing it. I was like, interesting.
Well, actually,
So-
you did it better.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Ashley did it better. What's happening?
You don't like it?
I love this look.
Rich.
I love it too. I think it's great. I think it's fashion. I love his style.
This is the broke equivalent of getting the minivan. When I finally get married and wifed up, y'all, I can't wait to get a minivan because I don't care no more. I'm gonna be comfortable and I'm married and I'm living good and I'm gonna have my big ass in my minivan. I'm gonna have all kind of shit in the back of my minivan. That's the equivalent of him getting a minivan right there. He don't give a damn.
Brandi,
He
Brandi,
married
what do
me.
you think?
I don't like it.
Michael?
I love it. I'm a sucker for Chrome Hearts and a sucker for
Okay.
minivans too, Shaq. So you're not
See?
alone.
See, I told you.
Okay, moving on. We have oh God. I know you guys are gonna hate this, but I love it. We have Laura Govan and Brittany like this too. We were talking about it in Mason Beretta. So it's like sweatpants mixed with like feathers. That's their new line. They're doing like luxury wear with casual wear.
She got on a jumpsuit. That's the sweatsuit, ain't it?
It's a sweatsuit with up top and luxury. No, sweatsuit bottom, luxury top.
I don't like it.
Shaq, you like it or no?
I'm confused. No.
Okay, Brandi.
Oh, the sweatsuit.
Brandi hates it. Michael,
I actually like it. And normally I hate feathers. But these
I
ones,
like it too.
yeah, I can mess with this.
I don't get
Okay.
I like the feathers. I don't like the pants.
Okay, here's someone we never have on our list. We have JT and Dior and Vivienne Westwood platforms.
Yes.
Beautiful. Wow.
Yes.
This is the best I've ever seen her look.
In a Barbie world,
Wow,
bitch.
she looks so beautiful.
This is the best I've ever seen her look. Michael, what do you think?
Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Marcus?
Beautiful. Love it. Love it.
Shaq?
I love J. All the niggas want to up JT. It's RT.
Brandi?
I think she looks good, but it doesn't look like anything different than she usually does.
Okay.
I'm not
moving
impressed.
on. We
It looks
have-
good on her though. She looks nice.
Moving on, we have a supermodel, and I don't know her name, but she also has Mason Beretta, and so it's a hoodie wrapped in a luxury gown.
This looks like one of those 5-minute challenges on Project Runway or something. You know what I mean? Where you got a piece of sparkly fabric, we're going to tie it around a hoodie. I don't know what to say about this other than that.
Okay, Marcus, what do you think?
I like it.
Okay, Shaq, what do you think?
It looked like she was getting dressed and somebody came to the door and she had to go get her DoorDash. And so she went and grabbed the hoodie and threw it on over her dress because her titties was still out. That's what she looked like.
You are so stupid. Brandi, what do you think?
That's what happened.
Okay, moving on. We have Housewives of New York, Jenna Lyons, and Gucci. I love how she mixes casual with luxury. Like she has a denim jacket on with an overcoat, and then she has like Gucci cruise pants on. What do we think?
I love her
Marcus?
style. I love her
Yeah,
style.
I love her style too.
I think she's very chic, very current New York. Like I love everything about her. I love it.
And she doesn't try, it seems like.
No,
it seems like
yes, it seems like just so like natural, so
Right.
organic.
Yeah. Shaq, what do you think?
I don't really get it, but I feel like I'm not supposed to get it. And I feel like she doing what she doing. I support
Okay.
it. I don't get it, but I support it. She look like, I don't know who she is. Is she like a creative or something?
She
Like,
was the
she look
she
like
was
she
the
make
creative
bomb-ass
director.
sculptures.
She was the creative director for J. Crew for many, many years. and now she's a housewife of New York.
She
So
looked like she made really cool stuff. Go ahead, girl.
Brandi, what do you think?
I don't like that outfit, but I'm sure she could probably dress. I just don't like that.
Okay,
together.
Michael.
I normally love her style, but this one is giving me rich white person who did just a little too much.
There you
Okay.
There's like a carabiner on her belt. Come on now.
go. She
Okay.
definitely rich and white. She definitely rich and white.
So we're not going to go back tonight.
Pull that off.
We're not going to go back tonight and vote because we have to get on to our next segment. So that was our fashion files for tonight. Next segment, come sit on my couch. Question tonight is, dear co-host, my partner and I have been together going on 8 years, and unfortunately I feel like the sexual spark is dwindling. What are some ways that we could spice things up in the bedroom? P.S. We're down to try most. Unfortunately, when you're together for more than, I think, 5 years, things do get rusty sometimes. You get tired, you get old, you get sore, and things happen. So this is nothing that I don't think we all go through it, and well, maybe some of you don't.
I think we all do.
Marcus, so I want you guys to be as open as you'd like to be. Don't tell all your business if you don't want to. But you guys say what you want to say. So Marcus, what are some things like
You know what? I think it's really all about just communicating and really just expressing what you want to do and what level you want to take the next thing to, and just really being open and honest with each other. So I think it's really important just like to communicate exactly what you want. So that way there's like no surprises or no like, oh shit, well where the fuck did that dick come from? Or anything like that. You know what I mean? So I think it's like very important to communicate exactly what you want to do to take whatever level you want to get to the next one.
Nice. Shaq, what about you? What are some?
You know, the only thing that I've ever done consecutively for 8 years was eat, pay taxes, bills, and be fat. And that's kind of the point. It is an accomplishment to be with somebody for 8 years. Figure that shit out, because it is all kind of piss and shit in the dating pool, and you don't want to get back out here. So get a sexual therapist or something. I don't know. Go get arrested in public together, doing it in a park, and spark it up, and then realize you don't need sparks anymore. I don't know what you're gonna do, because I can't relate to having anything that long. I'm looking for that. So hold on to it is my advice. So I don't give a dang what you got to do. That's my advice. Figure it out. Keep trying, because you don't want to get back out here. And it is beautiful to still be together 8 years later. And so that's the advice. Don't give up on each other, because this ain't what you want. This out here, this arguing over who gonna pay the bill, this ain't what you want. Because y'all know who paid bills. Y'all been together 8 years. There you go.
Michael.
You know, I was going to give a nice PG answer like they said, but I would say I'll give specifics. Go have sex in public, smoke weed, and lean back. All right, just enjoy yourself. Think of the things you'd like to do when you were younger, while you were still dating. Try those things again. We all did some dumb shit back in the day. Go dance in the club, fuck in the bathroom, right? Stuff like that. That spark will come back very quick.
Yeah.
I agree. Do something different. I think communication is key. I feel like people have to kind of broaden their horizons and kind of go out of their way to make things pop for their partner if they really want it to work. Just be adventurous. Try some different things. Maybe like a nudist beach type of thing where, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Just something that kind of sets the tone. Sets a mood.
I got one more option. Be single for a week. Come back out here. Go on these terrible dates. Get on these terrible date naps. Go out there, sleep with somebody, and get all these brand new diseases they got.
Okay.
And then tell me if you're still bored at home. There you go. There you go. Come on. There you go.
No, Ashley, shut up. Nope, nothing. Nope.
No.
Yeah, what's your opinion on it?
I'm not. I was almost told some of my own tea. Now, don't do that.
Go ahead.
I can't. I'm dealing with a Virgo in the other room. I can't. I think
All night.
I think you're all right. I think that communication is key. I also think that each partner has to give a little. Because we live in a society where I know in gay relationships you have a top, you have a bottom. The top doesn't want a bottom. The bottom doesn't want a top. One might want a threesome. One might be jealous.
Yeah.
One might want an open relationship. One might just want a threesome with you and not an open relationship. So I know in the gay world, that's the kind of stuff we deal with. Straight world's different. I know some women aren't as open. But you know what? Lately, I've been hearing a lot of these girls out here wanting three ways. That's something new in the straight world that I have never heard about.
Baby, in the early days, all I was sleeping with was straight women. What you talking about? I had to get self-respect to stop sleeping with straight women.
No, I'm not saying that because I used to. I've
women lit.
slept with my share of straight men, but I'm saying I recently the women are asking for another man or woman in the straight couples now.
Yeah,
and that was taboo in the black world 10 years ago. We weren't talking about that, and now on Instagram, that's all you hear and see.
Yeah. They won't parody.
I think like everything's so much more free these days. You know what I mean? So I feel like they're really embracing their sexuality.
Yeah, good for them.
And I feel like straight men are also really diving into like bisexuality and really embracing that without like being so shunned because the women don't really give a fuck anymore. So I feel like they're like, yeah, you want to have a threesome? Bring the other guy in. Because I feel like, I don't know. I feel like the straights are reaching like this like catalyst of like, the gays have been doing it. Why can't we type of shit? Like, at least that's what I see, you know?
Good. Look at the pegging conversation. That's a whole thing now. It's happening.
Yeah, it is.
Good.
Well, we have been on past an hour tonight, an hour and 16 minutes. We had a lot to say. I think we had a very good show. If all minds are free, I'm going to end it there. We will be back next week with a new show. I promise we'll have a new cast. We'll have our mainstays, our peach holders on here, but we'll have a different supporting cast. Please like and share. We're a new brand. We're trying to get the word out. We're trying to get more views. I'm not paying for viewers, and I'm not paying for nobody to kiss my ass. So
I know that's
if you like us. If you don't, don't. All minds clear?
So clear.
All right. Everyone stay on. We will see you guys next week, and bye-bye.
Bye.
See you next week, guys.